Hey guys, this is Jada here. Before I go into the gym, I have something that I wanted to record because it's been on my mind for the last couple months. Excuse me. I never really got a chance to address what I've been seeing when it comes to ICE, and quite honestly, it's very disturbing. Um, I heard a video this morning of a young lady who's Hispanic, and for the first time, she says now she understands what the black community have been going through for all these years, and how afraid they are in today's environment. To be honest, this is what we've been dealing with our whole lives. If you are black, this has always been a thing for us, a pit of our pain. And truly it's sad to see others have to experience this. But it also allows them to experience and feel what it feels like to be black, and to be treated in such a manner that no man, no human being should be treated. So indirectly, but directly, the ICE issue. I have a neighbor that I considered a friend, and every so often I will see him coming from work, or we speak, and he's always made himself available to me. He's Hispanic, and he owns his home. Well, he went missing for a couple weeks. And I think maybe about the first week and a half, because I know he would go out of town to work in sometime. And I asked my daughter, Jasmine, have you seen the neighbor? And she was like, not for a week or so, but we have his direct contact. So we call, and the phone went straight to a service that said he couldn't take phone calls. And that happened for maybe about 4 or 5 days. And then someone came to his house looking for him. And it dinged me off that, hold up, something might not be right. Now, these are supposed to be his friends or people he worked with, and they were becoming concerned. One of them called my daughter, because he works on vehicles and do a little work for us sometime. And he called my daughter to ask me, had I heard from him? Okay, so now I know I haven't heard from him, and he can't take a phone call. Now I'm concerned if he's all right. And then the second thought was, do ICE have him? So, being a friend, we began to look for him. Come to find out, and I remember taking him to an immigration attorney before that he was using, so I figured I'll go back there. Spoke with the people at the office, and they told us that ICE had arrested him, and he was being detained. And this was now about close to 2 weeks. And so they told me that someone came in. It was supposed to be family, and I know he don't have but his children and a nephew that works out of town, but have not been there in such a long time. They sent them to the lawyer to him in the jail to speak with him, because now he had this property. He's by himself for the most part. His children is with their mother and her husband. And I remember him talking about the children. I had never met the children, never met his ex-wife, anything of that nature, but I pay attention. And he says, Jada, you're my friend. And I said, you are my friend as well. He says, I trust you. I said, I can be trusted. And that's what friends are. So getting back to the story, the attorney assistant told me that when they went to speak with him, he had decided that he would be deported. This man has been here for over 30 some years. Licensed electrician. And truthfully can do a whole lot of other different stuff. When I went to the jail, me and my daughter went down to the jail to see if he was listed down there because we couldn't see him online. First they say he was being detained. He was there. And in the same breath they say he wasn't. So now I don't know how this ICE thing worked. And all the time he's been in the city, but they're going to give you this runaround. So I never knew his kids. I've heard him talk about them and his ex-wife. So I did the next best thing. I went searching online. I paid a couple dollars, put his name in, pulled up whatever came up on him, and I started from there. And I did that because now I want to make sure my friend is good. Second, there's people showing up at his house. They literally think that they're going to go in his house and take his valuables. They know how valuable his equipment and tools and things are. And that's all this man had to his name. These same people had been jipping him for his money. He'd been working for just about free and everybody owed him. And when they found out, see, they knew before I knew that he was in detention, but they played like they didn't know for sure. And so when I spoke to one of the gentlemen, him and his wife came, and he looking around his property. So I came to him. I says, he's not there. Right now, he's being detained. And so, what you need from office, what you need, you walking around his house and you know what's there. So he said, oh, no, I was worried about him. Didn't seem like he was worried about him to me. But evidently, before he was away, like this, before a while back, and people broke into his house and stole everything that he had worth anything. And so this time, when he told me about that, I was like, wow. I was thinking the neighborhood people did it. No, those was his Hispanic friends, and they waited till he was in a situation and robbed him blind. But they weren't going to do it this time, right? Because I told him I was his friend. So what I did was I found his ex-wife and her children, because he had a child, I think, that's 17, 18, or about to be 18, and 3 other younger ones below that. And he has an ex-wife. And I know he said to me that he wanted his children to have his home, But I didn't want him to be robbed blind, because maybe he would come home, or maybe this was before I knew he had decided he wanted to be deported. But I gave his family all the information that I knew. And I told the ex-wife, that because he had minor children, and right now he can't speak for himself, his children need to be involved in this, because this is their home as well, right? And she agreed, and she told me about how they broke in his house and stuff like that. So a couple guys came over, different ones, and they thought they were going to change his locks. I told them, no, you're not. I said, as a matter of fact, anybody try to enter that house, I'm going to call the police. So it's not happening. But what I will do is I'll reach out to his children. Wait right here. And when I told them, you guys need to get here right now. Because one, I'm not a security guard. Okay, let me say that. I'm not the security guard. Once I place it into the family's hands, is now their burden to carry. But as a friend, I did what I needed to do. But they still want to come and lurk. But they also know that they drive by. They don't drive up on his property anymore. So what I'm saying is, 1, if you're going to be a friend, be a friend. 2, Hispanic people, we're not what you think we are. We are the true friends. We are the prototype to this stuff. We would not have come out of some of the things that we've come out of without each other. We are the backbone to this fight. We are real friends. We take care of everybody. We take care of ours, others, and if you feel like you are ours, we'll take care of you too. He was a good friend of mine. Couldn't not call him for anything that he would not come for. He would always come. Always come. And only thing that I could do is be a friend to him. You know, I wish I could do more. But I can't. It's out of my hands. And I've had a conversation with him before about the ICE thing. And he did mention to me that he has a home in Mexico that he owns. And if he had to, he would go back. But I guess when ICE picked him up and the lawyer came, because the lawyer said they would represent him, you know. Say his last told me when his last payment was a few months ago, but they would represent him if he wanted them to. And at this point, he says he'll just go back. He'll be voluntarily be deported. But I watched a very knowing man, a very nice man, become depressed because of his so-called friends, so-called people he worked for and never paid him, where he couldn't even, the county was on him about his property. He was doing everything he could do to bring his property up. And these people were stiffing him and even would not even come and help him inside his own home. And he would drop anything to help what he considered a friend. I watched a grown man become depressed, saddened, all hope lost. All because people did him dirty. And then you got a system that's after his kind. And my kind, but right now they're the target, the biggest targets. I don't know what it's going to take for us to realize that it's not us against us. It's us, everybody, against the system. We need to unify under just that. You don't have to agree with a person's politics. You don't have to agree with a person's religion. You don't even have to agree with the color of a person. The truth is, we are all different. We are all made different. And that's the beautiful thing about humanity and the world. Everybody don't want to look the same. It's no fun looking the same and being the same and a robot. Everybody think the same. What is the fun in that? Where is the individuality in that? But we all agree that the system has failed us all at some point or another. Or we all can agree that the system is the problem and not the people. Lots of the people have been indoctrinated into believing into this corrupted system. But the truth of the matter is, the problem is not with each other. The problem is with the system. And we have to figure out how we could unify as one and bring down a system that should have never been. I pray that this message comes across to someone and it resonates. Even if it's one person that mind may change about things. Just like this young lady said in that video earlier, she never considered what it was that black Americans or black people go through. They wanted to morely assimilate themselves more as being white. Whatever you want. But when the people you want to assimilate yourself as don't accept you as that. Same as Africans. I'm sorry, y'all Africans. I don't know what they didn't tell you guys before you get here, but you want nothing to do with black people. All right? But nothing to do with they say we thugs or this, and that. But then you have other races, like an Indian woman was said to her child, if you ever get in trouble, find a black woman. told their child, if you ever get in trouble, why wait? Find the closest black woman. Wow. Wow. In the public, they demonize us. In the private, they know we the safe place. Figure that. But what we are true to who we are. Your color, your race, your religion, it really doesn't matter to us. It's your heart and your character that really sets the precedence and the tone when it comes to us. So we're not hard to understand at all. If you think about it far enough, some wouldn't even want to get in the pool with us. But our ancestors nursed most white men and white girls as their mammies and their nannies with our house servants many moons ago. And many of them, they loved their mammies. Maybe just their mammies, you know. Maybe no other black person, but they loved them. These was the same milk from my ancestors' breasts that nursed white children. She would nurse white children when she could nurse her own. Or have one on one breast and the other on another. We can't be that poisonous. We can't be that demonic. We were the chosen ones for everything, aren't we? So trust me when we say we understand. We don't agree with nothing that's going on. But some of us have come to a point where, you know, at some point, it's not saying it's not our battle. Some of it is saying now some people need to really understand, because they're going through it right now, what we deal with on a daily and for generations. We didn't ask for that. We did not ask for that. And it doesn't feel good. Nor does it feel good to us to see others going through it. I hate that people are scared. But you're not scared of each other. You're scared of the system. And the system is what has to change. Everyone has a right to believe in what they believe in. Everyone has a right to raise their households the way they want. As long as you're not being abusive and destructive to your family. I mean, your beliefs are your beliefs. I'm not here to question that. I'm just saying a lot of us already are going through it, and we're sorry that you're going through it. But right now, I'm going to tell you something. Hispanic community, I want to say this, what it looks like to me. Your people are preying on you, got your own selves. Because what it looks like is when they know that you're away or ICE have snatched you up, they trying to come claim your stuff. That's not a normal way of thinking. But their come up is their come up. That's not a friend. But with that being said, guys, be vigilant. Be a friend even when the friends aren't there. Be a friend in their absence. Let's pray for each other. Let's unify. But it's not, the problem is not us together as people. It's the system. So don't find a problem with each other. Find the problem and try to fix the problem within the system. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going ahead and sweat a little bit. Y'all have a good one, okay? Bye-bye.